There's a new preseason schedule, 3 games instead of 4, but it sounds like it's going to be a typical first preseason game. How do you expect the Niners to use Trey Lance? What are your expectations?
Well, Kyle Shanahan pretty much already spelled out what the game plan will be as far as personnel and the packages and that sort of thing is what we're going to talk about. But as far as personnel, it seems like Jimmy G will get the first team reps for one series.
Yes.
And then, of course, we'll move on to Trey Lance, and he's probably not going to get those guys. From what I read, it's going to be second team guys.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely hope they take advantage of his mobility simply because he will be going against second team players with second team players. So I do expect to see a little bit of a wrinkle thrown in as far as his athleticism, his ability to roll out, giving him some triple reads and things like that. I think is probably what we're going to see, but I don't think it will be overly advanced. I don't think they're going to send him out there and just light up the league. I don't think that's the point of the first preseason game. I think they're going to want to keep it a little bit more simplistic and see what he can do, just in a kind of not a run-of-the-mill, because he's Kyle Shanahan, but a more run-of-the-mill game plan. I don't think it's going to be the most lights-out, electric Trey Lance game plan. What do you think?
I think they'll let him throw long a couple of times. I think they'll let him use his full athleticism, but I don't expect a lot of quarterback runs.
Exactly.
They'll scramble, but I don't expect a lot of quarterback runs. And I think they'll get him out of the pocket, but I don't know how much. Like, when he becomes the starter, there's going to be a whole Lance offense that the league isn't ready for. They're not going to tip their hand on that. But I think also, like, you got to remember, he hasn't played a game. He's played one game since 2019. He had one game last year. He's never heard play calls in his helmet in a stadium with fans. So I think they're probably going to look at this as like, let's just get you some experience.
It's just game time.
Yeah, it's game time, and you need a lot. Even if you are going to start week 1 or week 4, you need reps, a lot of reps in preseason. And the first 15 plays or so may not be so smooth because it's been a long time since he's faced quote unquote live bullets. So I think the expectation from Lance is it might be a little bumpy at first just because he hasn't played in a long time. And I think the Niners are going to give him a very remedial basic course menu to pick from. Yeah.
I also think I think there's a possibility that Trey Lance will do really well, and that's because I really trust our second string defense as far as we have depth, especially on the defensive line. I think he's gotten some good game speed under his belt, right, even though he has gone against a lot of good second stringers. These are San Francisco second stringers, and as I was saying to one of our fans the other day, I think we could fund the starting defense of a couple of other NFL teams out there with just with our backups. So I think that Trey Lance will be pretty decent if he's facing the second string, and I assume he will be Kansas City defense.
Yeah, the thing is, he may not be. Andy Reid has said he's going to play his starters throughout the entire first quarter. I don't know if he's telling the truth. And Kyle Shanahan has said he's going to pull his starters when he takes Jimmy Garoppolo out after the first series or two and play Lance entirely with the backups. If there is a series or 2 or 4 where Lance and the backups have to go against the Kansas City Chiefs starting defense, the expectation should be very, very low. I mean, the expectation should be for Trey Lance to struggle. And if Kyle Shanahan puts him in that situation, my question would be, why did you put him in a situation where the expectation is he's going to struggle? Because he's overmatched. The whole offense is overmatched, not just him.
Yeah, so he's going to go from college where he did not play that many games to facing the remnants of a Super Bowl squad, basically. Right. And they still have a lot of their key components there. Knowing Andy Reid, I would expect him to do everything within his power to rattle the nerves of Trey Lance. I think he's going to face pressure off the edge, up the middle. And I'm kind of hoping that Kyle Shanahan gives him some options where he can use his legs to get away, because I don't want the second string offensive line protecting him against a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line is probably scary. It's very scary. The offensive line is the thinnest position. That in the secondary. You might like the starters in the offensive line, but the backups, I mean, probably the right tackle for Trey Lance will be Tom Compton. He was a guard last year. He probably won't make the team. You want someone who could be on, the retirement line in a month, protecting Trey Lance. I don't want that. So I don't know. I feel like if Andy Reid keeps his starters out there, Kyle Shanahan has to match them, or at least keep Jimmy out there for the whole first quarter, or bring in Trey Lance with the starters. I wouldn't put him in a position where he's either going to get hurt, worst case scenario, or best case scenario, he looks like he's not ready. Why would you want him to look like he's not ready?
Right, exactly. And it's just like in any sport, fighting football, it doesn't matter. You don't just send a fighter into the ring against one of the champions, basically, and just expect him not to get knocked out.
Yeah.
So that is actually more concerning. I'm kind of hoping that he leaves the O-line intact.
Yes.
And at least the best blocking running back that we have should be back there.
Yeah,
he needs the extra protection.
I agree. I'm going to give Shanahan the benefit of the doubt here that he's going to protect Trey Lance. If he just sends him out with the full second team unit against a first team defense, I think a lot of people will be like, what the hell are you doing, man? But I don't think he's going to do it. Yeah. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't.
I think that Kyle Shanahan, in his mind, in his game plan, if everything was, if he was dictating both sides, he would do it exactly like he said he was going to do it. But because of what Andy Reid might do, probably will do, at least what he said he will, then I think Kyle Shanahan, like any coach, you have to respond to the situation as it's fed to you.
That's right. Because even though it's preseason, there's a lot at stake. He could get hurt. Don't let that happen.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Andy Reid wants to send the first team defense after Trey Lance.
Oh, yeah, like you have this...
Not in a malicious way. Right. Just in a, hey, you want to put him out here? Welcome to the NFL.
Exactly. And he's the source of all this optimism in your camp. Well, how about now? What do you think of him now? Because we have Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, good point. And, the last time these two teams played was in the Super Bowl. There's subtext here. Paco Sinbad says, great name. Hey, guys, do you think if Jimmy agreed to take a pay cut that someone will offer a trade now that he's cheap? Possible. Depends on if what quarterbacks get hurt throughout the season.
Yeah, so the only thing I don't like about that is why would Jimmy do that? Because if he agrees to take a pay cut, then he can see the writing on the wall is now in black and white, you're gone. So why would he take a pay cut just to stay?
I was talking about it an hour ago. Look, here's how I think it could go.
Like 10 million or something?
I'm curious to hear what you think. Let's say the Niners name Trey Lance a starter going into week 1. They say to Jimmy, look, you played well. This kid's the future. He played better than you. You know it. We know it. We're starting Trey Lance. No offense. We'd like to keep you as a backup. We can't keep you as a $26.4 million backup. So we need you to take a pay cut. Of course, we want to give you what's fair. If we were to cut you right now, you could probably get maybe a 1-year, $7 million deal this late, considering no one has cap space. We'll give you 10. We'll give you 11. And we'll give you a $1 million bonus for every game you start. Let's say Trey Lance gets benched or gets hurt. It's a fair deal. And then instead of you being here through 2022, which is what you're currently signed through, we'll let you go after 2021. It'll be a 1-year deal, $10 million. I think they could at least broach that with him if he loses the job before week 1. That's the
I see your point with that. So basically, the market value for him would be $7 million because of the available cap space, the lateness in the season, having to go elsewhere, learn a new playbook. And it's basically like, look, we could cut you for $7 million, or you can stay here with a little uncertainty, maybe some game time bonus for more than the market value. So in other words, it's almost like strong arming him. Like, we've got you, and unless you want to leave, you're going to have to agree to some uncertainty, perhaps splitting time, perhaps losing your job altogether as QB1, and take it for about 50% more than market value.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's John Lynch's style?
I think it's fair. It's like, look, we gave you an opportunity. We gave you all the first team reps. You competed. I mean, everyone wants this kid to start, the fans, the coaches, me. We were going to give you the year. He exceeded expectations. You saw the writing on the wall. It's nothing personal. We'd love to give you an opportunity to make, 10, 11 million this year holding the clipboard. How does that sound? And we'll let you go next year. It's nothing. We don't want this to be punitive. If you really want to just leave, you can leave and go make $7 million elsewhere. But if you understand that you just lost out to a special talent, you want to stay here one more year just in case, here's $10 million. That's fair. And I feel like they're greasing the wheels for that when John Lynch goes on the radio today and he's like, I don't know who's going to start week 1. You got to talk to Kyle.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So Paco, good question. All right.
Excellent.